Morning deadline for a new contract. If the two sides don't reach a deal in 7 days, the public transit system will be shut down with workers on strike. Now, these photos are from a membership meeting for Transit Windsor employees. The union saying that they do not want to halt the service, and they're blaming the city for not bargaining in good faith. Now, this strike threat was issued earlier this month as well. They revoked that because the union wanted to give the city more time. ATU 616 wants workers to get a 3 to 4% raise each year, saying that it lines up with rises in inflation and cost of living. At center is these negotiations are a sick day program, federally mandated. The union saying that Transit Windsor is overestimating the costs. It's a view shared by the Canadian Labour Congress.
There was a 2021 study conducted by the Centre for Future Work, and in that study they found that introducing 10 paid sick days for British Columbia businesses would increase business costs by an estimated only 1/5 of 1%. So that's like hardly anything.
The City of Windsor is budgeting $500,000 a year to cover those sick days and one-time costs of over $1 million. A spokesperson for the city says that they're committed to reaching a fair deal. Negotiations continue Wednesday with a federal mediator. City Council did not support an idea by two councillors to enhance Transit Windsor bus service. That came up during 2024 budget talks today at City Hall, where there were few amendments. This is the first time that the budget is being put forward by Mayor Drew Dilkens rather than city administration, using Ontario's new strong mayor powers. Councillors Kieran McKenzie and Fabio Costante expressed disappointment that their plan to improve city bus service was denied.
We came forward with an idea, Councillor Costante and myself, and I think it was a good idea. Council opted to not proceed, but what I do know what will happen as a result is our transit system is failing. It will continue to fail. We've taken no steps here today to improve that service across the board.
So it would not have impacted property taxes whatsoever. And I thought it was a sensible plan. It was a phased approach that we were proposing. And unfortunately, Council voted against it. I'm always going to fight for more transit services, absolutely.
Now, the proposal would have increased service to South Windsor. According to them, it could have been accomplished with a $330,000 increase to the city's operating budget. Their idea was a scaled-down version of the enhanced bus service plan that the city's transportation committee had approved last year, but the amendment was defeated by the majority of council on Monday. The city's acting engineer said that he believes Transit Windsor can provide good service with its existing budget amount.
Council, as a whole, is going to decide on the level of service that we need for Transit Windsor, and I think that we're going to move forward with Council's direction today, and we're going to provide the best service to the citizens that we can with the allocation that we've got, and I think we'll do a great job of providing service to the transit users.
For the first time, Windsor West MPP Lisa Gretzkys is opening up about being homeless when she was a teenager. She made the first public comment about it last week when she was speaking at an event. That's where Ontario's NDP leader, Marit Stiles, called for more support and funding for the Hiatus House. It's an emergency women's shelter. Today on Windsor Morning, Gretzky spoke in detail about how a women's shelter took her in as a homeless teen.
On and off from 14 to 17, I was in and out of the house, sometimes of my own choosing and sometimes not. But it really culminated when I was 17. I had a brother who was struggling with an undiagnosed mental illness and had some violent behaviors. And there was one night, there was an argument going on, and I happened to walk in and ask what was going on and was tossed out by him, literally. And it was very clear that at that point it wasn't a place for me to be, but it was also not a place where I was welcome to be for a long time. And then when I had made it through the rounds of everyone that I knew, I had nowhere to go. So, and I was growing up in London at the time, and I lived on the street. And I remember a bridge downtown London where I literally slept one night under the bridge. And my boyfriend at the time, now my husband, him and I kind of put our heads together and started, knocking on doors and making phone calls. And eventually we found a women's shelter who would take me in.
You can listen to the full interview of Gretzky's story, the people who helped her and how she helped herself, on our website, cbc.ca/Windsor. That there is a paper copy of a license plate that Essex County OPP say led to some charges. Around 1:30 in the morning last Monday, police pulled over a 45-year-old man on Talbot Street West in Leamington. After running a check, police say that the plates came back expired. When officers looked a little bit closer, they noticed that it was a paper copy of the invalid plate. The man is facing charges of driving while suspended, using a plate not allowed for a vehicle, and operating an unsafe vehicle. That vehicle was towed from the scene. Phony plates, they aren't just a problem here in Windsor, Essex. After a CBC News investigation, we've learned that reproduction, or so-called novelty plates, are increasingly being used to evade tolls and parking tickets. It's leaving innocent people in Ontario on the hook to clear their names. And as Sarah McMillan tells us, there's a seeming lack of regulation or meaningful penalties to really deter those who are cheating the system.
It's rare for this car to leave Omar Ahmed's garage. He only takes it out for special events. So he was confused when he started getting bills last year from Highway 407.
I live south of Hamilton, so the 407 is quite a hike from here. Pretty much opened it up and then started looking through it and looking at the plate. I'm like, when was this car even on the 407?
In less than 6 months, those bills have totaled more than $350, all for trips he says he never took. Last month, he discovered what he believes is the culprit when he spotted an ad online selling novelty plates that look exactly like his real plate, which he's had for more than a decade.
Like carbon copy, identical. Like if I put it on my car, nobody will tell the difference. That is a reproduction of my plate.
From Etsy to Amazon to local sellers, there are all kinds of sites online where you can order custom novelty plates with any combination of numbers and letters. You can even copy someone else's plate. They're so easy to get, we ordered one ourselves. This novelty plate cost us $35 and shipped within hours. The one we chose is an exact match or clone of the real license plate on this CBC News vehicle. Fake plates like these are tricking cameras and cops.
We have seen some very well disguised fake license plates out there that wouldn't ordinarily catch the eye of an officer or even trick the automatic license plate reading camera to think that this is actually a legitimate license plate.
The 407 says it is aware of cases of duplicated plates. They're among the more than 500 reports of lost or stolen plates the company investigated each month last year. That's more than double the number of cases just 5 years ago. The 407 says it will always reverse charges for fraudulent or stolen license plates. But here's the kicker. Buying or selling a replica plate is perfectly legal. It's only an offense to actually put it on a vehicle. The penalty, a $140 fine under the Highway Traffic Act, or about the same price as a couple of long trips on the 407. And if you're a victim, it's up to you to clean up the mess.
You know, you will have to do some due diligence and some work on your side to prove to the tolling companies or whatever, to the courts, that this was not in fact my vehicle.
We asked the Ministry of Transportation why it's legal to buy and sell novelty license plates in Ontario and what's being done to address this issue and deter people from duplicating registered plates. The ministry did not directly answer those questions, but said it does not regulate the sale of novelty license plates. Sarah McMillan, CBC News, Toronto.
The provincial government is moving 9 privately run Service Ontario outlets to Staples Canada stores this year. The government says that the move will mean extended hours and offer better parking for people who need to access government services. But as Talia Ricci reports, there's some pushback on how this process has unfolded.
There was some tension today when reporters felt their questions about moving Service Ontario into Staples locations weren't being answered.
Why not a Canadian company?
To open tenders.
Among them, exactly how many taxpayer dollars are going into retrofitting these 9 stores? Why wasn't this a more public process? Also, why is an American company the business of choice?
Do you realize it sounds shady that you're not giving us an answer?
The minister says the move is part of the Ford government's plan to improve how services like this are delivered, touting the convenience of it all.
Extended operating hours, with some being open until 9 p.m. on weekdays, as well as all-day Saturdays until 5 p.m. Close to $1 million in savings over the next 3 years. That factors in the one-time capital investment in the retrofit costs that the government always pays for.
It was eventually confirmed through the minister's press secretary that the cost of construction is $1.75 million. The minister also said staff did reach out to other potential retailers.
Let me be clear. This is not new. It is only new to Staples Canada. The retail partnership model has in fact been tried, tested, and very well received by Ontarians.
What savings are they even talking about? Why didn't they open this up for competitive bidding?
Many of those questions from reporters were echoed today by the official opposition.
The Conservative government needs to come clean about why they are using taxpayer dollars to help Staples and Walmart with their bottom lines.
Meanwhile, the Ontario Liberals wrote to the province's financial accountability officer asking for him to provide an analysis on the decision to award contracts without a competitive bidding process. They're concerned about the taxpayer potentially paying to boost these American companies through renovations and foot traffic.
If there's a sole source, such as Staples, there has to be a reason. And normally it's either urgency or expertise. And I don't see either of those in play.
This expert on corporate governance and accountability is noting a pattern.
It seems to me that the Ford government is developing a track record of not consulting with proper stakeholders.
McCarthy said the pilot project will be evaluated on customer wait times and the efficiency of customer service delivery. 6 of the locations will be open by February 1st, with 3 additional outlets expected in Staples stores within the coming months. Talia Ricci, CBC News, Toronto.
More than 2 million Ontarians don't have a family doctor, and the Ontario Medical Association says that the number is going to keep climbing. As Patrick Swadden explains, they are calling on the province to invest more in team-based care and do more to reduce administrative burdens that keep doctors away from patients.
Everywhere she goes is, sorry, we're not accepting. It's just a nightmare.
Mike Hale's girlfriend, Tasha, can't get in to see his doctor in Barrie. She hasn't had a family physician of her own for 3 years.
She can't get any real medical treatment unless she goes to the hospital, which is a pain in the butt.
Tasha is one of 2.3 million people in Ontario who don't have a family doctor, a problem only expected to get worse in the next few years.
Up to 40% of physicians will be looking to retire in the next 5 years.
OMA President Dr. Andrew Park saying that exodus could double the number of Ontarians without family doctors, who are crucial to early detection, screening, and preventing serious disease.
And then where do all these people go when they can't access care? They end up in the emergency department.
Dr. Alan Grill says primary care works better when it uses the team-based care model, which gives clinics extra funding to hire other specialists.
I don't have to be everything to everybody. I can see patients, and then if they have a mental health issue, my social worker might be able to help me out.
Or a dietitian, pharmacist, or nurse practitioner.
It opens up more time in my schedule to see more complex patients and even take on more patients.
Madonna?
But the OMA says only 30% of Ontario's family doctors practice in those models, which need more funding. The province tells CBC News it has added over 10,000 new physicians since 2018, and 60% of new medical school seats are for family medicine.
It's wonderful to see the plan for the future. We need solutions now.
Dr. Jobin Verugis saying family doctors are also crushed by the amount of administration they have to do.
That's time not in front of the patient.
The Ontario College of Family Physicians says doctors spend 19 hours a week on average on administrative tasks, such as writing sick notes and filling out insurance forms. The OMA wants the province to create a centralized intake and referral system and streamline forms and notes to help ease the burden. The association estimates 2,500 physicians are needed in Ontario, leaving those with family doctors desperate to hang on.
Because I know that I won't be able to easily find another one for possibly years.
Patrick Swadden, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, the Detroit Lions' historic playoff run is over. They lost the NFC Championship game last night to the San Francisco 49ers, 34-31. The last time the Lions had a game in the second round of the playoffs was 32 years ago. This may not have been the ending that Lions fans wanted, but there's no denying that the team's deep playoff run is breathing new life into the fan base. It's giving people another reason to call Detroit a comeback city. CBC's TJ Deer went across to speak with fans in Detroit before yesterday's game.
I think that the city has come together and they've stayed strong. Even the people that have been fans for like decades, they've been waiting, and that's who I really think is really gonna like blow up behind this.
Oh yeah, they're resilient. I mean, they're hardworking. They got good work ethic,
The team has a great work ethic. They just grind, and don't give up, just like the city.
This team, it's, you hear people say the same old Lions. This is not the same old Lions. This is a tough team, and this is a tough city, and we need this for the city.
I always said if the Lions ever win a Super Bowl, this place is just going to go crazy. And for the heart of the soul of the team and all the Detroiters, the hard workers of this team, it's just like the team, hard workers, and that's who we are. So it'd be great.
Yeah, this city has made such a comeback. It really has.
It's like win or lose. The Detroit have the best fans. Whether the teams are winning or losing, the fans are still going to support. That's like the heart of Detroit.
All grit.
All grit, baby. All grit.
Take a live look outside there where we have a bit of a gray day today, but things can be looking up. It's not exactly a boatload of snow or buckets of it falling on us, so we got that going for us. Vic DePaula takes a full look at our forecast coming up. Welcome back. Driving around southern Ontario this weekend, you can see the water levels just rising. I know we've all got our eyes on the Thames over there in Chatham, and we saw what Dale was showing us over on the weekend there on Friday about what's going on at Puce River. It's been something that we've been keeping an eye on. I know that it's something that people are watching from conservation areas. Victor Paula now with a look at the forecast to see how that might affect things.
Hope you're having yourselves a great Monday, Windsor. Now, similar to as you do see the picture behind me and similar to my turtleneck and sweater, we're going to have more of this when it comes to later on this week. And I don't mean the turtleneck and sweater combo. I mean more pictures where we get to see more of that sunshine, more of the bright colors, less of that gray that we've had for the majority of last week. Now, we do have some snow that's coming our way tomorrow, about 2 to 4 centimeters, maximum 5. Nothing really big coming. But after that, it's mainly going to be more sunshine ahead. And we do have mild temperatures, so none of that real cold -22 that'll be coming our way. Now, your average high this time of year is -1, your average low is -8.3. And taking a look at what we're going to be expecting tonight, well, as we're talking about, it's going to be quite the mild temperatures. -1 is what it's going to be, feeling closer to -6 and partly cloudy, as you can see behind. Now, when we're talking to snowfall amounts and what we're going to be receiving, well, as you can see by the legend up top and how much snow we're going to be receiving here, well, not that much. As you can see, mainly Sarnia, Windsor will be the main areas getting hit in our region for that snowfall. Again, mainly 5, but not too much will be coming. Now, here's what it looks like if we speed it up a bit from a bird's eye view. Here's that little bit of a snow system that's passing by, but as you can see, by the time it's your commute home tomorrow, it's all said and done. Nothing too big. But if you do take a bit of a closer look, well, a lot of that snow that's coming is going to be happening right around the time your day starts around 9. It's going to wash through, and by the time it's around your commute home, it's going to be all said and done. But speaking of temperatures for tomorrow morning, when my little Emmy and your little ones are getting ready, it's going to be scattered flurries, 0 degrees, and feeling like -5. Taking a peek at our 3 and 7 day forecast, well, got some great news for everyone. As you do see this little guy here, there's going to be some more of this sunshine coming our way. Now, once we get through Tuesday, Wednesday is going to be a cloudy day, bit of snowfall coming on Tuesday, but once we get to Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, look at that sunshine on Saturday. Whew, I'm looking forward to that one. And even the temperatures, they start to dip a bit by the time we get later on in the week, but it's not going to dip down too much. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, Windsor, and I hope you stay warm. And over to you.
When we come back, we take you to an ancient festival where cowbells are scaring off the devil. That's next. The independent inquiry looking into foreign interference in Canadian election is now underway. The focus at this point is on how to deal with the official secrecy surrounding this issue. The goal is to determine how much of the classified information can be made public. The commissioner says some parts of the proceedings might be held in camera to protect the identities of those who testify.
It is also possible that certain persons called upon to testify before the commission who fear for their safety or the safety of members of their family, request that their identity be protected and or certain information provided be kept confidential.
Months of preparations led up to the inquiry. That included deciding which individuals would be allowed to participate. The commission intends to determine the extent to which China, Russia, India, and other countries interfered in Canada's last two federal elections. The commission will also assess the ability of the government to detect, to deter, and to counter foreign interference. We have an update on a story that we first reported in 2022. It's about alleged defects that were found in homes in a housing development in Meaford, Ontario. It was billed as Mike Holmes approved. If you're not familiar with him, Mike Holmes is a contractor, a television personality known for rescuing homeowners from botched construction jobs. But as the CBC's Sophia Harris discovered, 3 of those homes that have been condemned, well, 2 have already been demolished.
Terrace Wood in Meaford, Ontario was a housing development where many home buyers thought you can't go wrong. A street of boutique homes built by Third Line Homes and endorsed by celebrity contractor and TV host Mike Holmes.
Third Line Homes approved homes are built with innovation, integrity, and a commitment to make it right.
But according to Tyrion, Ontario's new home consumer protection organization, something went wrong with this development. In 2021, Tyrion filed an $8 million lawsuit alleging 14 of the homes were built with defects, including major structural problems. And now, Tyrion has condemned 3 Terrace Wood homes, claiming that given the nature of the defects, demolition was a more reasonable option than repair. 2 of the homes have already been demolished, and a 3rd house is waiting for a demolition date. So how did it come to this? Tyrion's lawsuit targets more than a dozen parties associated with the project, including Third Line Homes representatives, the municipality of Meaford, and Mike Holmes' company, the Holmes Group. The Holmes Group told CBC News it has nothing to do with the project because even though it offered homeowners a home inspection upgrade package, no one took them up on it. Third Line reps told CBC News Tyrion shut them out of the ability to address any issues with the homes. They and the municipality, which inspected the homes, deny any wrongdoing. Both also suggest that Tyrion shouldn't have torn down all 3 houses because it was unwarranted. It could take years to find out if anyone is at fault, as this case, even though it was launched 3 years ago, has yet to go to trial. Sophia Harris, CBC News, Vancouver.
Residents of 2 towns in northern Spain took part in an ancient festival ringing cowbells to scare off the devil and bring good luck to farmers. In one of the towns, sheepskin-clad dancers strutted their stuff at the local carnival. Some residents even joined in, dressed in colorful costumes, driving customized vehicles. The origins of the festival? Unknown, but it could be linked to celebrations marking the changing of the seasons, celebrating the winter solstice. This year's celebrations took place amid unusually warm weather. That's it for Windsor News. Don't forget, for news anytime, you can go on our website, cbc.ca/Windsor. We'll be back again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.